Hello, twisted humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is
Twisted and Uncorked.
Well, welcome back to Twisted and Uncorked. This is episode 3.
Yes.
Today we are
It is our second part for
Yes.
Disappeared, Sierra edition.
Yes, I'm so excited. And like we said last week, this week I decided to take the wine that we had from last week, which was the 19 Crimes red wine, the Uprising, and we turned it into a sangria. So we have a little blackberry sangria. Let me read you the ingredients list here.
And for the record, it is so good.
It is so good. It's made with blackberries, sugar, orange brandy, red wine, soda water or Sprite, and then for garnish, blackberries, mint, or a lemon balm. And it is delicious, honestly.
What is lemon balm? I have questions about that.
I don't know. I just put actual lemons in mine, so.
That's what I did too. I panicked. I was like, maybe I did something wrong here. I actually didn't do the whole lemon though, like a lemon wedge. I just did lemon juice. But
I squeezed a little bit of lemon, and then I have lemon wedge as well.
that's why yours made for the better photo for the gram, my friend.
The gram.
We did it for the gram. So
Both
yes, as
drinking out of
Sierra
big
centric
cups.
disappeared. Yeah, like the big girls that we are. I did have mine when we first started in a wine glass, and it felt like a mistake because it was so full and there was no room for a straw. And any of our sangria lovers out there know that when you have the chunks of fruit and you're just taking a sip, it's gonna fall and hit you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, out of respect to my co-host, I thought it would be very rude if in the middle of her story I was like, oh God!
Getting hit in the face with fruit.
I think you would understand if there was a blackberry red wine situation and I was under attack. You'd be like, okay, well, while she deals with that, we're gonna. And for any of our Disney-loving friends out there, I have an Olaf straw.
It's
Just like to
so
point that
cute.
out. And it has a spoon on the end, so I can get my alcohol-soaked fruit.
Amazing.
But, you know, shameless plug for us here. Support, you know, local businesses that have reusable straws.
Yes.
Save
please.
the turtles.
Of course. I love reusable straws.
Get yourself one of those straw scrubby things. They're so cheap. You could even, if you're feeling resourceful and you don't want to go out and buy something and you have crafts at home, you can also use a pipe cleaner.
There you go. Use a pipe cleaner to clean out the inside of your straw.
I learned that the other day. I was like, ooh, that's brilliant. You know those life hack videos?
Yeah.
I got one of those.
I got this one set of straws that it's like rubber, silicone or whatever, and all the way down. I'm gonna show you with this straw, even though this isn't the straw. All the way. Oh, it's gonna trip on me. Use this one. All the way down, like right here. There's a line, and it like opens up and becomes flat. So you can like clean the inside, and then you just pinch it back together, and the rubber sticks together, and it's a straw again.
That
It's
is
super
brilliant.
awesome. Yeah, I love it.
That is brilliant.
I carry it around.
I need one of those.
In my purse usually, so I can tell people. It might be in my purse actually, but I'm not going to dig through there because that's like Mary Poppins. But I carry it around because I often have friends who are like, I don't trust the inside of straws. Stuff gets in there, and I'm like, you have no excuses not to use a reusable straw. Look at this one. It comes apart.
So whatever this company is that Sierra is mentioning, clearly it's to sponsor us.
Yes,
Because she's giving you free marketing
Seriously.
by carrying it around in her dirty purse.
You know who you are. You'll come to us. That's why we're not saying the name, not because I don't want to go through my ridiculously full purse.
Kevin calls the inside of my purse Narnia.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I found it. It's called Hip.
It's magical. Oh my god!
It opens up.
That is so brilliant!
And then it just closes back.
What?
Yep.
And when you sip out of it, it doesn't, like, leak?
Nope. It's like...
What?
Seals up right there.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I have it with my entire reusable stuff pack in my purse.
Oh my god, you are adorable.
I am a hippie.
I am a hippie. This is one more sign, guys, that Sierra and I were meant to be friends.
Yes.
And podcast hosts together.
Okay.
That is incredible. I have one of those, but mine is like a little lunch. I'll show it to you when we're done, but it's like a little
canister
lunch box thing. Yeah, and it has like multiple levels, but it's teeny, and you can carry it in your bag, and you can have like 2 meals in one, and it has your little reusable cutlery set. It doesn't come with a straw though.
That one didn't come with a straw. I stuck it in there.
I know.
Actually,
you just made it a part of it.
I think it did come with a straw. I think it came with a glass straw, but the glass straws always hurt my teeth, so I put that rubber one in there.
Yeah, I had one glass straw and it rolled off the counter and broke, so...
Yeah.
Now we just stick with the cleanable plastic or rubbery ones with Olaf on them.
Perfect. All right, who's ready to talk about another disappeared episode?
Is it as much of a bummer as mine was last week?
It's not a bummer. It's a little angering.
Okay.
So this story today...
A different fuel.
Yeah. It involves both my home state of Ohio and your home country of Canada a little bit. So I thought this would be perfect. This story is mostly lots of he said, she said, and not a lot of, like, physical anything. So we're going to see if we can figure it out. Solve this mystery.
That is the goal of the podcast, to solve a murder at some point, so...
Yeah, here we go. We're gonna
or a missing persons case.
By the way, there's a lot of names that I'm not going to say on purpose because this is unsolved and, you know, it's of a woman who disappeared. There's no charges against anyone for anything. So out of privacy for people who could be linked to the case in any way, but maybe innocent, I'm not going to publicly shame them. Even though I did find their names. I'm not going to do that because I don't know. I'm not accusing
You're choosing
anyone.
the way to tell your story.
Yeah.
That is allowed. That is your creative freedom.
All right. This is the story of Patricia Adkins. In 2001, Patty believed that her life was just about to start looking up. Everything was about to fall into place for her. She was expecting to receive a promotion at her company, the Honda Automotive Plant in Marysville, Ohio, where she had been working for 10 years.
It was almost a BlackBerry situation. We're good.
I
didn't want to cut you off, but my little garnish BlackBerry that I almost knocked it off onto my lap.
I watched your eyes like get all big. I was like, oh God.
I'm so sorry. That's so distracting. Hold on. I got rid of it. It's not a problem anymore.
All
We're
right,
good.
perfect. Get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
So at the Honda Automotive Plant, she was already a supervisor of the assembly line, but this promotion was going to be even a step up from that, and it would be an important part of ensuring that her life was going to be looking up like she hoped. Patty was a single mother with what seemed like a bit of financial issues. She had recently drained her savings accounts for cash. She also took out a second mortgage against her house for cash. And
who has that much cash in their account?
And she even borrowed against her 401k for cash. There was about $90,000 cashed out over a 1-year period.
What?
$90,000.
That is how
cash.
unfathomable that was to me, is I literally choked to death. I'm actually a ghost right now. What?
Yeah. I don't know why anyone
I took a sip of my wine and I was like...
I don't know why anyone would ever need to take out $90,000 in cash.
That's not even a thing. Even when you buy a house and you take a sizable down payment, not that mine was sizable, but they give you that fancy bank check.
Yeah.
To give to your...
What's that called?
Yeah.
It's gonna drive me crazy. Like a money order. No, that's the one you get at, like, the gas station. A cashier's check? Maybe that's the one you get at the gas station. Whatever.
I know what you're talking about, though. It's like a fancy check, and it's just, you take it from the bank, and you hope you don't get robbed on your way to the realtor.
Right. So, after taking all this money out, especially the 401k loan, she had to pay it back. Otherwise, penalties would start popping up against her if she didn't repay it back soon. But that wasn't really on Patty's mind on this day. It was the weekend before the 4th of July, and her workplace was closing down for the week. A week vacation was exactly what she needed to continue this life looking up thing. Patty had been telling her mom and her sister about the man who was in her life. She said that she was head over heels for him and even called him her soulmate. She said that she had been seeing him for a few years and that he worked with her at the Honda plant. In Patty's mind, this was supposed to be the week that would change their lives for the better. Patty told her mother and her sister about a trip that her boyfriend had planned for them. On the night of June 29th, she was going to leave directly from work to go with her boyfriend to a cabin in Canada to spend the week with him. Do you remember this case now?
No!
Really? Okay. I feel like you've had to have heard it before.
But as soon as you're like a cabin in Canada, I was like, oh, well, Canada's about to get shit on because nothing good ever happens in a cabin.
All right. In preparation for her trip, Patty checked her dog and cats into a doggy daycare type facility. She had her sister keeping her 7-year-old daughter for the week. And she even had a friend drive her to work that day so she didn't have to leave her car on the company's property. She didn't pack any clothes, though. She told her sister that her boyfriend told her not to pack clothes because they could buy new clothes and anything they needed when they got there. Cute, right?
No, not cute. If Kevin's like, we're going on a vacation, babe, and you don't need to bring anything, I'd be like, where are you taking me to kill me?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like in a second, I'd be like, if he was like, hey, let's just go. You know, if he's just like, hey, let's just go on a trip. And you're like, what? I don't even have anything packed. And he's like,
yes,
no packing.
that is cute.
Let's just go get this stuff. Like, we'll buy new stuff. Who cares? We don't need stuff. That's cute.
Yes, that's
but
like
this is
a romantic
thing.
Yeah, that's where it's weird.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, I'm pretty sure one of mine and Kevin's first dates, he told me to get ready to, like, my going out standards and bring my passport. And that he was going to pick me up in an hour. And I was like, what? And we just went across the border and we had, like, a little day trip and it was really cute.
Oh!
And
I wasn't even thinking that. I didn't... It must be so strange to, like, live so close to the border, I guess. Like, you need your passport for a day trip. I was thinking, like, so your first date with him, you went on an airplane. I was like, what the fuck were you thinking?
No. No. We're, yeah, right? It's a lot of trust. Yeah, no. And it was a really fun day trip, but I was really weirded out. I was like, why do I need my passport?
Yeah. Strange. What country are you taking me to? Yeah.
And am I going to be sold? Because I'm really ready for that.
Oh, goodness.
I'm expensive, for the record.
Yeah. So he told her not to pack anything, according to what she told her sister. But she did Patty told her friend that she did bring a small teal duffel bag. And it had some stuff in it from Victoria's Secret. So, even though he said not to bring anything,
Brown
she had
chicken,
to bring
brown cow.
just one thing. Yeah. So that
Glad
night,
we were on the same wavelength.
Yeah. That night, Patty also told her friend who dropped her off that the after-work situation was strange. Sorry, I'm gonna hiccup or something.
That's okay. We're literally the same person, and I think it's hilarious.
She told her friend that her boyfriend carpooled with another coworker, and he had to take that coworker home before they could go on their trip. So Patty was supposed to get into the bed of her boyfriend's truck and hide under there until he dropped off the coworker, and then she could get in the actual truck. So she was supposed to be like in the trunk of the truck.
Is there not room
while
for
he
her
dropped off a
in
coworker? Well, nobody wanted. They didn't want anybody to know that they were going on this trip together. Apparently. So after clocking out just a few seconds after midnight, literally as soon as she got off at midnight. That was the time she was scheduled to be off work. Usually, it took a couple. She was the supervisor of the line. Usually, it took a couple minutes, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes to clean up your station, make sure everybody's out of there. But she was, ready to go. She told everybody to quit working early. Stop what you're doing. It's almost time to go. Start cleaning up. I need to get out of here on time. She clocked out at 12 o'clock and 19 seconds. At 12 o'clock, she clocked out.
She was wasting
She was
no
ready
time
to go. But her clocking out in those super early morning hours of June 30th was the last time she was ever seen. Since Patty told everyone she'd be on a week-long vacation at a remote cabin in Canada where she would be out of phone range, there was no one wondering about her whereabouts for a whole week. When she was supposed to be back, she never picked up her daughter from her sister. She never drove her car out of its garage. She never went to her hair appointment, and she never came back to her home for the clothes or money or her pets. And all of this obviously led to a very worried family.
No kidding. So sorry, the money that she had taken out was all still
It was
at
just
home?
Out. No.
Okay.
Nobody knows
We
where
don't know
that
where
money
it is.
went.
Okay.
It was taken out of the bank accounts and just out of her bank accounts.
Okay. That adds a whole new weird element if it's just in a special place at her house or something.
So Patty's sister thought that maybe something bad happened to Patty, and she started to panic. Maybe she was just into true crime stuff like us and automatically thought the worst, but she was like, all right,
and knows that the whole preface to this trip sounds like a horror movie.
Yes. She called Patty's boyfriend's house, but she found out that he wasn't home either. So she kind of started to feel relieved. Maybe they were just late getting home. They got a late start in the morning. It's fine, whatever. They'll be home later. And then later came, and still Patty didn't call or wasn't seen. And then she started to think of darker things, well, what if they got into a car accident and both of them are dead now? So she called the boyfriend's home again. And the boyfriend of hers, by the way, was actually married.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. According to her sister and her mother, they and Patty all knew that he was married. That's why she had to hide in the bed of his truck. That's also why she says she lent him that $90,000. So that he could buy his way out of the business that he owned with his wife. Buy his way out of marriage. So Patty says the money was given to him. That's why the week away was so important to her. Because she says he told her that he'd finally be ready to leave his wife for her. And again, this is all just things that Patty told her friends and family. None of this is proven. Nobody knows where the money actually is. If no one knows anything at this point because Patty is gone.
Yeah.
When Patty's sister Marcia called Patty's boyfriend's home, he and his wife both talked to Marcia and asked more questions than they answered. Marcia said it felt to her like she was the one being interrogated. The wife didn't seem mad that her husband was a cheater. She just wanted to know everything that Patty had ever told Marcia. The married couple talked on the phone with Marcia for about 45 minutes. And when the boyfriend was on the phone, he told Marcia that he didn't even really know Patty. Like, yeah, maybe they worked together, but a lot of people worked there. He said they were never in any kind of relationship, and they definitely were not planning on going on any trips together. At this point,
either he's a lying piece of shit
or
so mad.
Yeah, it's an angering case.
This is where the anger comes in that you mentioned. Okay.
Yes. At this point, Marcia immediately regretted ever calling the family and decided to call the police next because this was way too strange for her to handle anymore.
Oh, 100%.
Why are they grilling you when you're the one whose sister is missing? That's
exactly weird. When she was allegedly with one of the people you're talking to.
Once police were involved, official statements were made by the boyfriend. The same things he already told Marcia. He just told the police he didn't really know her. She worked there. Yeah, he knew her, but they weren't going anywhere together. They weren't in a relationship, blah, blah, blah. He also gave them an alibi. He said he drove his coworker/friend home toward his house, which was about 30 miles away, like he always did. They stopped along the way to get Burger King, where they waited in the drive-thru line for about 45 minutes, and then he went home. The coworker agreed to everything about that story, and they had a receipt from Burger King. His wife vouched that he came home at 2:30 a.m., the same time he usually gets home after taking his friend to his house. For the entire week that he was off work, he said he was home with his wife doing yard work, except for one day when he went fishing. His wife confirmed that story as well. The boyfriend told police on their first visit that they didn't have to worry about getting a warrant to do a search on his property. They could search whatever they wanted, and they did. There were no strange cash deposits of any kind in the boyfriend's bank accounts, so there was nothing to back up Patty's story of her giving him $90,000. So it seems like Patty's supposed boyfriend may have been telling the truth. At this point, like what else is there? There's no money. He's like, sure, search my house, no big deal. This is my alibi. This is my wife. She's gonna say I did these things. Yes, he did. This is my friend. He's gonna say I did these things. Yes, he did. Like this guy is free and clear. He's like not worried at all. But then they did search all of his properties, and there was a little bit of sketchy stuff.
Okay.
So for one thing, the manager at the Burger King said that there is no possible way that there could have been a line long enough to cause a 45-minute wait at that time of night.
I was going to say, and who waits 45 minutes for takeout in a drive-thru?
See, that's my thing. There's no video evidence, and sometimes at that time of night, maybe if the fast food worker fell asleep, then made the car wait longer. But if I have to wait 15 minutes, like that's all I'm waiting, and then I'm driving away because I just assume they're closed. Like, I'm not going to sit there and wait for 45 minutes. There's no way. That's insane. Yeah.
And even like in my glory bar days when there would be that like rush at a McDonald's drive-thru of everybody getting out of a bar.
Yeah.
Still not 45 minutes, maximum like 15, like you said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Another strange thing, Patty...
Super sus.
Oh, yeah. Patty said
okay, my first red flag was you can get in the back of my truck while we drive.
Yeah, that's weird. But again, there's no proof he said that. That's just what she says he says.
That's true.
He says, she says, he says, she says. It's a big mess.
Like you said.
Yeah.
But ladies that are listening, For the record, if a man ever tells you to get into the back of his pickup,
You don't.
you know. He treats you like a lady that can ride in the cab of the truck.
Yeah.
It's my PSA for today.
If his friend isn't friendly enough with him to know about your secret relationship, then there's no reason for you to be anywhere near that friend.
Exactly. Just saying. She treats you like a queen.
Mm-hmm. So another strange thing is that Patty said she was getting into the bed of her boyfriend's truck. Into the bed of her boyfriend's truck, like we were just talking about. So what's weird about this is it's a truck. The only way to not be seen in the bed of the truck is if the truck had a tonneau cover on top, which this was a work truck. So things were loaded and unloaded into the bed of the truck all the time. It didn't come with a tonneau cover originally, but coincidentally, Patty's boyfriend had purchased a tonneau cover just 3 days before Patty went missing. He had it installed on the morning of June 29th, that very day Patty went missing, and had it removed and stored it away during his week off. That's super suspicious. Like, for someone whose defense in all of this is, I didn't even know this woman, she's making this up. How did she know to say she was going to hide in the bed of your truck? Like,
that you just conveniently got 3 days beforehand in a cover. And a tonneau cover, is that one of those?
It's like, it
is that like one of those,
looks like a roof of the truck, but it's flat and it's like soft.
Oh, okay. No, I was thinking one of those like caps on top with like the windows. That was what I was thinking. Okay.
Not that one.
Thank you for clarifying. I think that was an American-Canadian situation. Today's episode is brought to you by Kind Bar. Kind is deeply committed to crafting food with real, recognizable ingredients, a disruptive notion that sparked the creation of new healthy snacking categories. Kind is unapologetic in their efforts to challenge the status quo, to shift the food industry, and empower their community and our listeners to make better, informed choices about their health. Kindness can be a transformative force for good, and that is why we are teaming up with Kind and Podgo to bring our listeners 10% or 15% for military, teachers, students, first responders, doctors, and nurses. So 10% for everybody else and 15% if you're frontline. Go to podgo.co/kind. That's podgo.co/kind. Kind Bar, creating a kinder and healthier world, one snack at a time. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he said that he bought it and used it for his fishing trip that he took during his week off, and he took it back off because he was going back to work. The police found it in their search, and the forensic evidence of the tonneau cover revealed cat hairs and blood. The cat hair...
I do know this case.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It was the cat hairs that triggered it.
The cat hair matched Patty's cat's, but the blood drop was so small, like the size of the splat after you swat a mosquito on your arm, so it couldn't be tested for DNA. Again, This is super suspicious.
Yeah.
But honestly, it would never hold up in court. Like, for all we know, he could have brushed up against her at work, just passing by, her cat hair being transferred from her jacket to his, and then he put his own jacket in his work truck, and we don't know whose blood it is. He could have gotten a nosebleed, or maybe even pricked his finger while putting bait on a fishing line. Like, those are all things that if he was taken to court for this, that's exactly what his defense would say. There's no hard evidence. Frustrating.
Yeah, still, like, if I was on a jury where that was presented as evidence, in my head, Caitlin has 3 cats. And when I go to her house, yeah, I might have 1 or 2 cat hairs. But not enough that would be detected in the back of somebody's truck.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if I was laying back there. So it's like, there would have had to be somebody that lives with those cats back there in my head.
Yeah. Still, even
I know,
even if
I
they were in a
know, I
relationship,
hate
that
it.
doesn't prove he killed her. There's still more strangeness. So, the yard work that Patty's boyfriend said he was doing while he was off for that week was actually him creating a concrete slab in his yard.
Who the fuck creates a concrete slab in their yard?
He's just like, I want this part of my yard to be concrete now. Who does that? Why, when this random woman that you don't know is missing, that's when you do it. I don't understand. So,
I'm glad that you were expecting me to react to that. You started laughing before I even said something. I want this part of my yard to be concrete now. Sure.
Yeah, that's just... Okay.
Okay.
So, the police were suspicious of this as well, and they brought cadaver dogs in.
Yeah,
The cadaver dogs hit on the concrete spot, but the police ripped it up, and there was nothing there. Nothing. So, like what the fuck? The only theories you could throw for this is either the dog messed up, he didn't know what he was doing, or maybe there was a bag of concrete before it was hardened, and there was a dead body near that concrete bag, and then that bag was poured on his backyard. That's a possibility.
Yes, because that happens all the time with bags of concrete.
Well, if he had killed the dead body it was near. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Then maybe.
Yeah, then maybe.
On a side note, I know that concrete is expensive. So that's a rough day.
Yeah, that is true. They tore it
Have
all
my
up.
whole
There's nothing
concrete
there, and he
slab.
has to do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fuck you, because you're a cheating asshole regardless.
We don't know. We don't know. That's why I can't say
You're
his name.
allegedly, supposedly, possibly, maybe, sort of a cheating asshole.
Well, there's some more circumstantial evidence, so now you can make up your mind. There was a birthday card found in Patty's boyfriend's home. From Patty to the boyfriend. There was a t-shirt and a cell phone that was in the boyfriend's possession that Marcia says Patty gave to him. Marcia is Patty's sister.
Cell phone?
Yeah, I guess she bought him a cell phone. You know, the secret one for their secret messages. I don't know.
I guess so.
And then there's also a letter from Patty to the boyfriend, which was a love letter where Patty talked about how much she wanted to be with him. I don't think there's any way to explain his way out of this one. They definitely had to have some sort of relations outside of just being another girl he worked with. Or at least he let Patty think so, you know?
So either way, he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. So, with all of the circumstantial evidence, it is pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what everyone's main theory is. The boyfriend did it. And even though he is the main suspect, which he is, they have declared him the main suspect. They named him a couple times and then recanted. So I'm not going to name him because they recanted.
Okay. You're going to tell me afterwards.
It was...
Right.
Yeah, sure. I have... Part of the sources that I used for this case has his name in it. So if any of you want to know his name, just go look at the sources. I'm not going to censor the sources. I'm just not going to say his name.
Yeah.
So
we will always source our work and do the noble thing and put that in our blog part on our episode. Our blog part on our episode. Our blog spot on our website for our episodes if you want to go check that out.
Yeah, you can totally find his name. It's not hard.
You can totally go and look at all of this.
So even though he is the main suspect, there was never enough, and still isn't enough evidence to prove he did it. It's been 20 years now. Some people think maybe his wife was in on it all along, maybe they were in on this together, like they were using Patty for her money while the boyfriend pretended to have a relationship with her, and when it was time for him to start to pay her back, they removed her from the situation. Marcia thinks that's why his wife wasn't mad when she was like, your husband's cheating on you with my sister. And instead, Marcia was like, well, what did she tell you? Where did she say she was going?
Yeah, it's not a genuine reaction to somebody that's just finding out this piece of information.
Right. It's strange.
It feels, yeah.
Usually, like, I've seen people on, like, you know, Facebook or something. You'll see a random post where a girl comments on another girl's post, like, girl, your man's been messaging me. And first of all, the first defense is usually the woman gets super defensive. Like, yeah. No, fuck you. You're psycho bitch. Quit being a whore. You're the one who's seducing my husband. And then, like, the next day you'll see a post like, oh, my husband's a piece of shit and I'm going to take him for all his money. You know, like, it's anger at someone.
I was going to say, it's like the 7 steps of, like, grieving in the form of
denial.
Finding out your significant other is cheating on you. Yeah. There's denial. There's anger.
Yeah. Like, it's not like, oh, well, tell me about it. I want to know what they were going to do. No, that's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
So Marcia said that Patty had told her she was going to ask her boyfriend to start paying her back for the 401k that she owed. You know, Patty was super open with her sister, apparently, according to Marcia. She told her that I gave him this money, but he needed it because that's how he's going to be with me, and he said he's going to start paying me back next week. And then she never saw next week. So that's a pretty good motive. But there is no proof of the money. The money has never been put in any of her boyfriend's bank accounts and any of the boyfriend's wife's bank accounts. The money is just gone. So even after exhaustive searches of places where a body may have been disposed of, nothing was ever found. They checked rivers and lakes and, you know, the concrete slab and all these places, and they've never found anything. Not even that teal duffel bag. Yeah. The small spot of blood that was found is still held in the evidence with police, hoping that someday technology will be advanced enough to test it without using it all up. That's the issue now. As soon as they test it against something, it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
And what if they mess up that first test? Like, there is no second chance.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not the first time we've seen something like that in cases where they're like, oh, we just have this little bit. Like, do we gamble and...
Right, like, just save it until we can prove something. Yeah. In 2006, the courts officially deemed Patty as deceased since there was no activity on her bank accounts. But I wanted to bring to you a different theory. What if the boyfriend didn't do it? What if Patty isn't even dead? I know this is a crazy theory, but just keep an open mind about it. Okay. As great as a mother Patty was, it's hard to believe she'd just give up on her daughter and leave. But there is no body.
Is this a police theory or is this a you theory?
This is a me theory.
Okay. Now I'm extra interested.
There's no body. There's no teal duffel bag, and $90,000 was never found. What if $90,000 was in the teal duffel bag? What if Patty just took all that money out and left? She don't need to use her bank accounts. She's got $90,000 in cash. It's not probable, but it is possible. And right now, there are no other answers. So I hate when people put all their eggs in one basket. I think we should be looking at all possible options instead of just trying to find evidence to specifically prove the one theory. Like, why is she declared dead? Like, there's $90,000 missing. Sure, her bank accounts weren't used, but there's $90,000 missing and there's no body. I don't think she should have been declared dead yet.
I agree. And for example, if you haven't listened to episode 2 that I covered last week for my disappeared case, I'm just going to leave it at he was a 4-year-old little boy. And he's been missing for over 30 years. He's never been declared dead.
Right. Yeah, you don't have to declare them dead.
And
in this case,
Sierra talked about many theories that could have happened. So you're right. Why does all of the eggs have to be in that basket?
I don't get it.
Shameless plug for people to go and listen to our episode, and a good point against what you just said. If a 4-year-old that hasn't been active for 30 years isn't declared dead, why is a woman declared dead?
Yeah. Is it because she's a woman?
That's a separate issue, Sierra.
That's a whole separate issue. Look, a woman
That's a whole other bag of worms.
Just as well as a man can take $90,000 and leave. I don't think she would. I'm not saying that. I think Patty was a great mother, and she would never leave her daughter. I'm just saying.
And on a random note, she is a fucking smoke show. Like, she is gorgeous.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit. I'm so mad.
Yeah. It is upsetting.
See, the one hole I'm going to poke in your theory is the cadaver hit.
I mean, maybe the dog was having an off day. There's nothing there. They dug it up.
Days.
They dug it up.
I know.
Like, I don't understand.
My theory is the possible dead body came in contact with said bag of concrete. That's my favorite theory.
Yeah. That's what most people say. But, I mean,
I like your other side of, like, this could have happened. But it's hard to think that way when you know who she was as a person, and that she was a devoted mom, and that she had all of these things that she was looking forward to.
Well, again, the only reason we know those things is because her closest friends and family members say that. But
that's true.
I'm kind of a bitch sometimes. If I went missing, my closest friends and family members would talk about how great of a mother I was. So the crazy thing to me is, and it goes both ways, it goes with both theories, is that Marcia said, Patty's sister said that it took Patty like years to save up all that money that she saved up. That, $90,000, probably a little less than that, because she also borrowed on her mortgage and her 401k. But it saved her.
Yeah.
It took her years to save that money. And when Patty told Marcia that she was taking it out to give to her boyfriend because she wanted to be with him, Marcia thought it was weird. What if she wasn't taking it out to give to her boyfriend? Because that would have been weird. What if she was just taking it out to have it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, these cases drive me nuts.
Yes, I know. Disappeared cases. Because you
could what if all day long.
Yeah, all day long. It's insane.
This is why I feel like true crime podcasters should be detectives. I'm just saying. We think of all avenues.
Yes, all of them.
I feel like
we should at least be like, we should at least be on some sort of advisory board. Like, come to us and we'll give you some ideas to work with.
Kind of like, like a virtual jury. Just like bring us all into one chat room.
Yeah, tell us what you got. We'll throw some ideas at you, and then you go find them. This
makes me what the cat hair is what just fucks with me.
I agree, but also I've worked in at a car place before. It wasn't a plant, but I worked in a dealership before, and I've brushed against workers. It gets crowded sometimes. I don't have any cats, but if I did have cats and I was walking by and my shoulder brushed someone else's, the cat hair here would now be the cat hair there. It's a long shot, but still.
It is a long shot, but it's
still a possibility.
I guess. I'm curious. I'm going to get a forensic team into my work and test if there's any rabbit hair in there. That will prove whether this theory holds true.
Yeah.
Because I even defluff myself, and if they manage to get one in there somehow versus the transfer theory, then maybe I'll look at that as a viable.
I can see that. We just really need to test the blood. I mean, even if the blood is tested, and it is hers, I still don't think it's going to be enough blood to prove that he did it in court unless they can find if he spent the money. If he spent the money, then that shows a motive. And with even a drop of her blood and motive, I feel like that would help prove it. But otherwise,
a drop of her blood would prove that she was in the vehicle
and has been missing for 20 years.
Yeah.
But if the blood can't prove to be hers, I don't see this going anywhere. He quit the Honda plant. He moved away or wherever. He never went back to that Honda job, and him and his wife are just living. So they're just free people now.
I think that he definitely took advantage of a kind and enthusiastically loving woman.
Yeah.
And that there's foul play involved. That is my theory.
I agree.
And that is why that teal duffel bag has never been found, because it has the money in it, like Sierra's hypothesized, but they have it.
Oh, you think that she put the money in it to give to him?
Yes.
I don't know what to think. I mean, obviously, I think that he's a piece of shit and he did it, but also it's like, I don't want to hang someone before I know, I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know. It's crazy.
That's so sad.
It is.
And, I would assume, you being the person that you are with research like I am, that there's no possible sightings of her anywhere.
No, not that I've seen. No one has said anything. But
and
at the same time,
she's a single mom.
Yeah.
And obviously the dad, or I would assume the dad's not in the picture, he was obviously looked at in this, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah, he was, they were divorced. She had married him and they divorced. But the daughter was with her dad for a little while and then back with mom. It was like an amicable thing. He was cleared of anything. So the only and number one suspect at this time is her boyfriend. But there is nothing to prove he did anything at all. Other than that spot that can't be traced to anything because the DNA isn't good enough yet.
Research! Do more!
I know.
God damn it. That's so I hate it.
Yeah. But of course we'll post Patty's picture and who knows, maybe people have seen her. She's officially declared dead, so I'm sure people aren't looking, but you should look anyway because you never know.
Sad, I can imagine.
I know.
Well, guys, hopefully you still like our show after back-to-back disappeared cases. Yeah, they're like, well, they started with disappeared. Fuck them.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you think about it, we ended with disappeared because that was the end.
Sierra was just jumping in mid-categories. Right. She was just doing the damn thing. If you're gonna blame anybody, blame me.
Category, okay? We added new categories. I think it's okay to tell them now since disappeared is over.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we added a few new categories, which were cults and
conspiracies,
yeah, and murderless crime. Murderless crime.
And in that, we took away murder and deep dive because our new episode structure kind of allows us to do deep dives on our cases because we've got a whole episode to do it. And we have also added a special topic, which I had added right when Sierra jumped on, which was my first episode of 2021. However, we've not got a chance to dive into that. So whatever topics you guys want to hear, we will find cases based on that topic if you have a suggestion. So guys, next week we are starting a new round of categories for you with all of our new ones and adjusted things, and we're so excited. Like we've been joking the last couple episodes, we've planned out our life for the next 6 months.
We spun the wheel of life.
Literally. And we're really excited for next week's topic. Maybe a little more lighthearted and spooky than this couple weeks.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, we're not sorry about it. Disappeared is still interesting.
It is interesting.
It has been rough, though.
If you guys have any theories on my case or even the last case, we want to know your theories too. Tell us your theories on social media. What do you think happened?
Yes. Tweet at us what you think happened to Michael Dennehy or Patricia Adkins.
Yep.
You can also DM us on Instagram or message us on Facebook. Or if you want to join our Facebook group and talk about it with like-minded spooky people, you can do that too. And you can email us what you think your theories are, along with your listener stories and your reviews so that we can mail you stickers.
Yeah, please, listener stories. Listen, if it's going to take a sticker to get you to send us a listener story,
oh, she's frozen.
We can send you a sticker for that too. That's fine.
I was going to say, we'll sweeten the pot. Yeah. We'll listener story and review it. If you send us either, you get a sticker. You can also email us your wine recommendations, case recommendations. Just say hi. We like that too.
We like that.
And if you want to rock some twisted and uncorked swag, like your good pal Alicia is, you can find those on our store. I would not recommend spilling concealer on it. It takes a little bit of time to come out. And you can also check out our Patreon for bonus content, monthly movie nights, and weekly show
that's
wrappings.
A whole new thing we're doing.
The fuck?
Wrap up.
What the fuck was that? What
TV
the fuck
show
was
episode
what?
Wrap up.
Yeah, not TV wrappings. They're like, ooh, that sounds fun, Alicia. Sure. Yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah, we've got a couple of new things on Patreon that we're really excited about. So come check it out.
Patreon.com/twisted and uncorked. Or Linktree/twisted and
to all of the above. Exactly.
All of the above.
Linktree has made the world easier for all.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, that's it. Until next week, guys. That's it. That's all.
Twisted.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say that.
I was like, that's it. That's all, folks. Like a Looney Tune. And until next week, guys, keep it twisted.
Welcome to Digging in the Dome, a show with obscure pop culture references.
Hey, Twitter world, it's your old pal Orenthal. The only thing more impressive than my ability to juke a defender on the gridiron is evading prosecution.
They've basically made Karate Predator. It's basically what they've made.
With segments like the topic randomizer.
I should not be disclosing this right now.
No.
They called me foul ball. They called me foul ball.
And the breakdown.
Listen, bitch, you got that dry-ass pussy? That cactus snatch? You need to take care of that shit by getting your pH balance on point by using Dr. Cardi B's muffins.
And sometimes a famous comedian will come on and talk to us.
Please welcome our guest today, the hilarious Sarah Tolomash.
Yeah, little guy stuff,
Yeah,
pay some bills.
Yeah, Kevin's uncut, so we're going to try to dock. We'll see how that works.
So check out Digging in the Dome on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you stream your podcasts.